Now, if you don't like what the seller says when you get the questions answered for the big four, purchase price, down payment, monthly payment, and term, if you don't like where they're coming from, you just don't think it's going to work. And typically the reasons for this is they want way too much down. Like they want, half down on a $500,000 house, which you're going to find quite often. And you don't want to deal with them. You don't want to negotiate with them. It's just not going to work. Or they just want to sell for all cash. In other words, if they're more of a project or a suspect, if they just want full price, all cash, you don't like that answer when you call them back, or if you get the lead property information sheet filled out, it's also important to understand what to do with these people. And as I wrote in the report, The Art of Pre-Screening, you want to know what to do. You want to know how to identify people and which category to put them in. So if they're a suspect, then you either want to just get rid of them, eliminate them, flush them out, never talk to them again. Or if you want to have some fun, you can always see if they would be open to having you follow up later on. So that simply means, hey, by the way, let me do a quick role play with myself here. You would say something along these lines. So to the seller, well, Mr. Seller, it sounds to me like you want to sell your house for full price, all cash, which that's awesome. You have every right. It's your house. So I tell you what, it's not going to work for me because I am an investor and I look to buy houses. When I do buy houses all cash, we usually pay a lot lower price because these are houses that need a lot of work and need a lot of fix up. And obviously that doesn't describe your house because it's a beautiful house. We also get cash out fast to people, but it has to be at a discount because we look to make money. So since that doesn't work for you, another way that we buy houses is we can pay a lot more for the property if we're able to work out some terms with you. And that basically means that if you have a little bit of flexibility with the time it takes you to get paid for your property in order for you to cash out. And that's not something we could discuss, is it? And of course, they're going to say, no, I need to get all cash. Or you'll be surprised. Sometimes people actually do come back and say, well, how would that work? You're able to arouse their curiosity, which opens up the conversation. And when you do open up the conversation, one quick tip for you, never give a long, drawn-out, lengthy seminar explanation. It only confuses people and gets you to be more frustrated. It doesn't work, okay? We'll get to more of that stuff in the mentoring, but the basic bottom line here is if you don't like what they have to say, or if the questions just aren't good enough, you can respond back politely, honestly, by saying it doesn't look like it's going to work for us. But I tell you what, I really enjoyed talking with you today, Mr. Seller, Miss Seller, or whatever their first name is. And I tell you what, how about, would it be all right if I just give you a call back here in a few weeks just to see how things are going? Maybe you'll have sold the property by then and I can congratulate you. Or maybe we can revisit this conversation at a higher level at that point, because we found that everyone's minds can potentially change with time and circumstance. So I've enjoyed talking with you. Would it be all right for me to give you a call back to follow up and see how things are going in a few weeks? Or should I just wish you to have a nice life now? And I always say that with a smile on my face. Okay. So you're basically looking to see if they'd be interested in having you call them back to follow up with them. Of course, you don't necessarily have to call them back. You can always send a text message or an email, or even a voice blast email with a ringless voicemail, which we can get into later on as well. So you're just looking to see if they would be open to having you follow up with them. And what you would do is add them to your tickler file or to your calendar, take notes about all these things. And then when it comes time to call them back, you simply say, ring, ring. Hi, how you doing? This is Tony Pearl. How's it going? Is the house still available? And they'll let you know it's been sold, it's under contract, or no, it's still available. And said, oh my goodness. Hey, do you remember me? We spoke a few weeks ago about the house. I asked you if you'd be open to entertain the possibility of if we can pay a good price for your property, maybe even what you're asking for it, if you'd be open to being a little bit flexible with the time it takes you to get paid. Has anything changed between the last time we spoke and today? And is that something we could discuss? It's basically words along those lines. Okay? I think you'll get great results from utilizing that strategy, and you'll have a lot of people with whom you can follow up. A lot of them are not going to pan out. Honestly, these are just people who it just doesn't meet with their goals. And that's okay. But at least you'll have people in the pipeline. You'll be also surprised at how many people still have their house for sale and are open to selling it with terms after a few weeks. Because once again, remember this, everyone's mind changes with time and circumstance. If you catch them at the right time, that want to do business with you just because you're so charming, nice, respectful, and polite, and because you followed up. Huge. Remember, the fortune is in the follow-up. 80% of the results you get are going to be from 20% of the efforts. A lot of times that just means that you're following up with people where other people don't. Now, we always want to deal with the low-hanging fruit right away, but follow up with the ones that are a possibility for long-term. And that's, as I said in the art of pre-screening, dealing with the projects. Okay, so suspects, you can get rid of them quickly. See about following them up later on. Prospects, low-hanging fruit. Those are the people you really want to get on quickly. Projects, we can provide value for them. So we want to follow up with them later on. And these can really make you rich because not too many people have the skills, nor the patience, nor the organization to be able to follow up with these people. And now that you do, you know what to do. That will be you. Okay?